Hi everyone. My name is Mo Khan. I hope you have a fantastic day. How's everybody doing in this program? How's everybody feeling about the program itself and the event? I've seen a lot of great speaking engagements throughout the whole program. So I want to hear some of your experiences, and then we're gonna start the presentation. I want to see in the chats real quick, everybody. Perfect, perfect. Let me see. Okay, all right. That's good. Good to know. So let me see real quick. Perfect. Amazing. Amazing. Let me see. Okay. Perfect. Amazing. Yes. Thank you so much. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Can anybody see the screen? Yes. Okay, good. So great. So we're gonna make this it's gonna be a 20-minute presentation followed by some 10-minute Q&A. Okay. So I'm gonna be sharing my screen real quick. Perfect. So, hi everybody. No, no apologies. Okay, good. Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Mo Tasrif Khan. I'm a graduate student currently at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. I'm also work in the corporate sector as an acquisition executive. I work for AT&T, and now I'm currently with Charter Communications Incorporated in the acquisition department. So today we're going to be talking about cyber wargaming in space and how it can integrating innovation for national security. So the objective for this topic today is we're going to be exploring innovative strategies for enhancing national security through cyber wargaming in the space domain. So with that being said, here is the vital agenda that we have for this quick 20-minute presentation. It's going to be involving the following elements. So one being, it's going to be focusing on introduction to cyber wargaming. Excuse me. Nope, not that one. Sorry. Okay, good. So we're going to focus on what is cyber wargaming, right? What is the definition of it? And what does it play a role in for the space domain? And number two, we're going to focus on importance of national security. So we're going to be shortly discussing how cyber wargaming strengthens national security measures. Number three is the historical context. How did it come about into being, right? By reviewing the evolution of cyber wargaming and its past applications. Number four, it's going to be focusing on identifying essential elements and strategies in cyber wargaming. Number five, we're going to be focusing on challenges and opportunities, obstacles that we're going to be facing and has faced already, and potential growth areas in the field. And the final two sections is going to focus on future outlook and conclusion and call to action. With that being said, we're going to focus on talking about what is cyber wargaming, right? Basic presentation, but very, very simplified to understanding. So the definition of cyber wargaming is as follows, is the following that as follows, right? So according to the RAND Corporation, wargaming is typically defined as the analytical games that simulate aspects of warfare at the tactical, operational, or strategic level, which are used, of course, to examine warfighting concepts, train, educate commanders, analysts, and strategic leaders, to explore scenarios and assess how force planning and posture choices affect campaign outcomes. It is not just a tool, but rather state-of-the-art architecture designed to emulate the best decision from a team through choice selection over time. Of course, in cybersecurity, we have the red hat and the blue hat team. So offense and defense teams working at a certain level of analytical games dedicated to simulate various aspects of warfare to enhance strategic thinking. The purpose of wargaming basically focuses on improving decision-making skills and training for military commanders or even at the corporate leadership teams through realistic scenarios, right? Why is it relevant to national security? It basically plays a role in ensuring security in the space domain, thus addressing emerging threats effectively. And the way we're going to be innovating through integration across the civil and military sectors is to encourage the integration of new technologies and strategies through innovation to enhance operational capabilities in defense, here at home, here and abroad, and multi-dimensional levels. So that's what the insights are up to this date. There will be more research that has been published and will continue to be published regarding this matter. So the importance for national security. Why is it important? for our national security, and that is to enhance preparedness and strategic innovation space domains. As we all have heard from various aspects of leadership in civil and military sectors, space is not the final frontier. It is the frontier that will dictate how our way of life will be determined and defined in the next centuries forward. So the first thing that comes into a lot of mind for the importance of national security is it enhances preparedness for space conflicts, right? Through proactive simulation exercises that prepares military and strategic leaders from various corporate levels for potential space engagements. Like as we have seen with the Russian-Ukraine war, we have had involvements with Starlink, providing satellite services to Ukrainians to ensure they have the maximum service as possible in the midst of warfare without, and of course, without having the impact of experience with destructive lives. And of course, it leads to another reason why it's important for national security when it comes to war games is to promoting strategic thinking. It integrates cyber wargaming that fosters innovative solutions and adaptive strategies in space operations, not as just the final frontier, but a frontier that allows the connection of all other domains, whether it be land, air, sea, and naval, right? And the third thing that we're going to be talking about as the important factor behind this is the battle for technological superiority. So there are, as we have all heard in the news reports and research papers, that has been significant investment over the past 3 decades in advanced technology since the Gulf War that ensures a competitive edge against adversaries in space warfare. And both the civil and the military sectors have been very involved in this very ambitious yet realistic project that we're currently working on. So that is something that I would like to share without the insights and the specific examples to forward. So here's the evolution and the modernization of space warfare. So the concept of wargaming began as early as the late 19th century, right? Which foreshadows future military strategies in space. And of course, I published a paper called The Future of Space Wargaming, Innovation, Conflicting or Reasonable with What's Ahead with the Space Education and Strategic Applications issue for the summer issue. It contains a lot more information about things, for example, a lot of geocentrism ideologies, which could be discovered more in pages 10 to 15 of my issue, of the article that I've written. And it involves a lot of civilian, military, and historical perspectives of that. So another thing that we can talk about more is the establishment of the U.S. Space Force. So the creation of the U.S. Space Force to address contemporary warfare challenges in the space domain has also put up another context in the strategy that's been implemented since December 2019. That made it more serious when it comes to integrating cyber wargaming, which involves defensive and offensive measures. That includes many initiatives to integrate cyber strategies into space wargaming for enhanced national security. And we have some development of new technologies, especially with directed energy systems that many civilian and military relations have been put into effect to support strategic military operations in space. And most importantly, but not least, we've been having many tremendous international collaboration with countries like the United Kingdom, Australia, Japan, Korea, and India. So that is another aspect to put into place, into consideration for our war games. Any questions? Let me see if anybody has questions. Just wanted to make sure I'm not going too fast. Okay, so the nations have begun collaborating on space wargaming exercises to strengthen defense mechanisms, and some civilian organizations from different countries are also implementing ways to implement reduction of threats, if that makes sense. So the key components of cyber wargaming as follows. So we have the mission planning and architecture. So establish a robust framework that is very crucial for effective cyber wargaming, enabling structured responses and threats. And the leadership and the vision comes and drives through innovation and aligns strategically in cyber operations to enhance agility in decision making. We have the economic support through public-private relationships. We have many government and private sectors also fostering resource sharing through various contracts and, of course, memorandums to enhance technological advancements and funding. And last but not least, of course, on the military side of the operations, we have the joint, sorry about that. Okay, no, so this is not the right one. Sorry about that. Just wanted to touch on some few more things, and then I'll be done. Okay, so they are integrating command structures that improve coordination and effectiveness of cyber defense strategies across agencies. So that's another vital key component, right? So come on to the next one. We have these strategies for effective wargaming. So since the 19th century, a lot of tremendous wargames have been focusing on things like implementing of joint operations. Back in the 19th century, we had the naval, land. We didn't have air till the World War. So we had the collaboration across various service branches to optimize strategies in cyber wargaming. We also have it through innovation, of course, with integration with emerging technologies such as AI and machine learning to enhance wargaming scenarios that could be implemented in the context of battlefield and outside of the battlefield, like, for example, in a wargame room. And we also have interagency collaboration between intelligence agencies, civil military agencies for comprehensive wargaming analysis tools. And we have been utilizing historical insights based on past conflicts to inform modern cyber strategies and decision-making. And alongside with scenario-based training, we have the development of realistic scenarios that mimic potential cyber threats in space operations. Last but not least, as we're developing more research and development behind effective wargaming, we're also working on continuous feedback loops. So that is basically providing and implementing various repetitive processes to refine strategies based on wargaming outcomes and analysis based on the previous instances, current instances, and of course, future instances to follow. So that is how integration of innovation for enhanced national security and cyber wargaming has come into being. Right? There will be some case studies that we'll be going over as well, of course, verbally and through this presentation slide. So here are the challenges in cyber wargaming. Besides of course, the financial restraints of certain governments and certain agencies or organizations, there are also some major key issues to straight national defense strategies, and that includes technological adaptation. So staying current with rapid tech advancements is very, very crucial, and many agencies, and some agencies are actually having a hard time doing so because of the major changes with the AI and the machine learning. And it also implicates things like simulation accuracy, effectiveness, and productivity of these technologies. So basically, the current status is it is ongoing with such adaptation. There will be many more measures to be implemented and designed dedicated toward that objective with this challenge. But speaking of the international collaboration, there are some nations who will have different priorities and goals at the end of the day. So while cooperation among nations is essential, there are various ways that could be done differently among nations to share intelligence and strategies. And joint exercises can improve that as well, right? But global threats will be emerging and will continue to emerge. So keeping up with that collaboration could also put many things into strain, such as financially, socioeconomically, socially, and politically, and everything. So that is another key criteria to keep in mind about. So last thing but not least, we have the capabilities that involve tremendous balancing on offensive and defensive. So right now there is not a whole lot of strategic equilibrium before offensive and defensive tactics. So majority of the time with civil organizations, defensive tactics are very common to implement, of course, to defend threats, protect assets from being mismanaged and misused. Offensive, on the other hand, is primarily dedicated toward those that are in service branches. Those tactics are not pretty prevalent in civilian sector. So in order to ensure this balance provides the best capabilities, it must also produce robust responses to potential cyber threats going forward. So that's another thing as well. So definitely this is a very, very critical to think about. Opportunities in cyber wargaming. Yes, there are significant strategic advantages for enhanced national security, right? So enhancing national security involves enhancing strategic restraint. So in other words, organizations, agencies, and service branches can also promote careful decision-making in cyber operations, minimizing escalation risk. Strengthening global partnerships will have to be an ongoing thing as we have seen in the recent years, which facilitates sharing insights, improving collective defense. So one country is not doing more than the other or feeling restrained or overburned out. That's another valuable strategic advantage right here through this collaboration. Most importantly, we have to also think about advancing space security measures. So by developing protocols for protecting assets in space, thus ensuring stable security environments, and many more strategic advantages could also involve innovation, continuous innovation, and development in research. So these are the major three opportunities. Of course, financially as well, brings a lot of things together. So finances brings a lot of financial stability aspects of things with space war games. So moving on to the future outlook, right? So there are these are conflict scenarios that we have been around. These are the projected outlook of that. So in 2023, we had 15 notable space conflict scenarios that includes the Chinese incident of the balloon, which I will go over that in the upcoming slides. We had 15 last year. 2024, by the end of 2024, we're projected to have around 16 to 20 incidents. And as our capabilities and our growth in space domain and handling of these conflict scenarios grow, by 2027, we're expected to reach about 55 to 60 approximately of these major space conflict scenarios that will require a lot of security measures and attention to detail. So that is just the basic exponential growth of these wargaming scenarios that are coming into being. And that is something we need to keep looking forward. And that is what this summarizes. So here we go. So this is the previous slide that we went over. This is the future outlook, of course. And now here's the case study, right? So the case study is also, sorry about that. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, good. So the national security strategy, there is a case study that was done in 2023 Chinese balloon incident with the collaborative efforts from the U.S. Air Force and Space Forces, strategic response, and how they examined the incident. So what they've learned from this real incident that was translated into a war game, and that is of course publicly available, right, of this incident, was that 85% of participants in these wargaming exercises reported improved readiness in threat neutralization tactics that showcases the critical role of simulation in strategic planning. So that was in the context of the effectiveness, right? So this war games based on the incidents like the 2023 Chinese balloon incident on the East Coast of the United States led to a outlook of a final analysis of $2.5 million of investment in innovation for advanced cyber wargaming technologies to emphasize the importance of innovation in national security agencies and strategies to, most importantly, defend cyber threats or any external threats from impacting the way of life here at home and here abroad. So, and the most important thing of this war game effectiveness led to a great decision-making speed average of 90 seconds. So real-time strategic decision-making was achieved in under 90 seconds to demonstrate the agility required in modern defense scenarios and the effectiveness of integrated operations, especially multi-domain. Now that space is another domain that we have to contest for. So another developments do also come among military branches. Strategically from the Army, they prioritize so much on multi-domain operations. That's where the MDOs come in. For swift adaptability that targets integration of cyber capabilities within joint forces and focuses on enhancing situational awareness through real-time data. And that is in comparison with how the Marines do it. And the Marine Corps actually emphasizes on what is called Wargaming Cloud. They utilize cloud technology for advanced wargaming simulations to enhance collaboration and strategic planning across branches, and also a cloud library that civilian organizations in the telecom sector and the supply chain sectors can also implement to focus on real-time scenario development for effective training, and most importantly, protecting assets of corporate users. What has been done with this comparative analysis on military branches could also be implemented in the civil sector if planned accordingly. So these are the strategic focus. It's also in that paper I wrote in detail, which you can find from the July issue, the special issue on warfare and weaponization space. So that is another thing that I will be sharing with you all after the presentation for the link, and it's also in the bio. So that is it, really. This summarizes the whole presentation itself. So the final thing I will definitely say is innovation, integration is possible. And we have to embrace cyber wargaming to enhance national security through collaboration and innovation in many other ways. And civil and military sectors have so much role and valuable role into this going into the future. As we have discussed, to conclude everything, right? What is the future of space wargaming and where space wargaming and cyber wargaming are heading toward the end? And I would say, though, we have a bright future because in the end, being the protectors of all fundamental assets are essential for space operations. It's the best of many roles that we all will play, whether civil or military, rather than being the aggressors and disliked by other spacefaring nations. And we have to make the best optimal choice we can make, and we have that chance to make that choice. In the end, the goal is not to just save lives, but ensure that the integrity and self-sovereignty of our country is preserved the way it has been at all costs. And the space domain is just another opportunity we have to prove our worth through wargaming exercises. Without wargaming, the value of learning as well as discipline built from learning will be vanquished across various sectors over time. Thank you for coming to my tech talk. This concludes my presentation. And now we have a 10-minute Q&A if anybody has questions. Thank you for your time. Looking forward to many collaborations going forward.
Thank you for your presentation. I also want to remind everybody that the conference will be stored in the platform, so they can also contact you afterwards if there are no questions right now. Oh, we have. Thank you all for the information. Are there any questions? Last chance?
Yep.
Okay. Well,
any questions?
Maybe it's a lot of
I'll put the slides at the end of the conference for anybody to take a look and take a look into consideration. Keep in mind, this is all just research. There will be more developments in the upcoming months. So thank you, everybody.
Well, thank you to our presenter and thank you everyone for attending. Now we can take this time for a short break before the next session and keep enjoying the conference. Have a great day.